Hey guys, Big Chonis here, coming live because we got some pretty crazy price action here in Bitcoin. We've broken the $4,000 barrier, support barrier. We went all the way to $3,900 here, and we are looking at a lot of volatility and a lot of volume. This is continued volume here, and we talk about how being bearish and different levels of bearishness, and we are definitely in this new unprecedented level of bearishness here because of how low we are and how low we could potentially continue to go here. Because right now, there's really no sense that we're seeing that this is still a value area in the price of Bitcoin right now because of this massive volatility and continued bearishness and continued exiting, if you will, of the market. Now, we've broken the 4K support. I'm kind of just zoom out here. Let me hide some of my indicators here. I'm kind of zoom out to my daily, and just so we can get a sense here of what these candles look like here. I mean, just incredible. And I was talking about earlier when we had broken through and lost our support on our Bollinger. We're once again touching it right here with the break of $3,900 here, now in the $3,800 there, and this is a big amount of volume here. But look at it comparably here; we're just getting going here. This actually, relatively speaking, is not a lot of volume, but it's a lot of bearishness, which basically means we're not finding buyers in these areas here. Any kind of a short-term bounce or something, I mean, we could be definitely dropping a lot lower here just because we're just not finding a market conviction. Look at that volume bar there. This is the 15-minute here on Coinbase. Getting down here to 38.90. Just breaking through there. Let's go to our coin market cap real fast. We just lost $4 or $5 billion of overall market cap in crypto. Bitcoin now at 71 billion, and our volume's increasing here as we're breaking through any sense that we had found a bottom as a hold of 4,000 there. And here we go again. Getting back to our daily here, we've given our little indicators a chance to reset. Our RSI or our stochastics come up just a little bit, right? Because they were so in the depths here, they were so mired, so low, and now we've been able to kind of get through that and bounce through that. And what we're watching here is basically, there we go. What we're watching here is this break, and we're putting in all these, oh, actually, our OBV is still holding a little higher low there. But we're really testing how bearish and how much lower we can go here. Look at our chalk, and you can see that we were not able to get higher there, pushing that through as our volatility and our candle is pushing down our lower Bollinger here. Now, we closed outside it before, and we're really spreading these guys out here because they were so tight. And we're currently looking for any kind of a bounce support here right at this $3,900 area, which proves once and for all that, Bitcoin 5K was not a really strong support area. And right now, Bitcoin 4K is known not to be a very strong support area. So we've broken through. We've put in a new lower low. We put in a new weekly lower low. And any kind of bounces right now, we can just consider them very short-term scalps because we're needing to get a little bit more of that real dump, real capitulation volume, perhaps, to get some bottom feeders in the market feeling that this is a value area. This could be an area that Bitcoin and stuff could be cheap. I want to quickly go to a couple of the coins here because we know we're breaking through a lot of supports and other ones as well. Ethereum 112. Again, this is the 5 minutes, so and we hit 110 there. Okay. And I know Litecoin must have broken 30, right? Yeah, 29 bucks on Litecoin. Right there, 28.50. Wow. So any bounces here, again, you kind of want to watch for real volume to come in, bullish volume that can symbolize some sort of, okay, we found a good bottoming here. But right now, this is just bear volume. This was a bear candle. We closed at the very bottom of it. And right now, we're just going to bounce around in this situation. Tether also just took a dumper on that move there as well. Look at that. Tether's starting to lose its value again to the dollar. The 1-to-1, that's not good, which means we're probably getting spread out now in our USDT exchanges as well. I want to take a quick look here at longs and shorts just to see what the action is. Bitcoin longs, they've been adding through this, and now look at that. They're just finally coming apart here. They're finally getting forced to liquidate. The hubris of the longs that long through this here. Look at that. This is the hourly. This was the dump. This was the rise up. And now, once again, they're getting their hands slapped. Now, shorts didn't load through this here, but now they are. Now they are. They're starting to load up here. Actually, the past couple hours there, they saw the writing on the wall, and now they were able to break through recent resistance there and are starting to move a little bit higher because we've broken through 4K, folks. If you're just joining us, we're watching the break of 4,000 on Bitcoin. Live here, Chonis Central, Chonis Trading Studios. Thank you for following me. Thank you for watching. How about some thumbs up here? As I join you today while we watch this, listen, this is historic for me. We watched this come all the way up, and now we're watching this have quite a big unwinding here. I want to go to my weekly so folks, we can get a sense of what's going on. And listen, we're watching this volume bar here because I put out a tweet a couple days ago about how our volume profile could get similar to what our topping off volume profile was in regard to where our bottoming could actually be. And this volume candle, remember, this is this week. This is just the weekly. We still have another day of this. We still have another day of this candle here. And we're getting closer to putting in some volume that is getting higher in this area here, similar to what we'd experience when we're getting to the top there. And that's notable. I'm going to keep watching that because the higher this goes, the more I'd be more convinced that we're in the week of, or at least the next week, getting closer to that bottoming area, which is very possible based on what we're seeing right now and how quickly we're able to just really capitulate. After months, how many months did we talk about these bounces, these moves, these ups, these downs? While on our weekly here, in 2 weeks, we just erased, tremendous amount of value. And once again, we have to start looking at these lines of support, which are failing as they have failed here, and now here. They become resistance, and that only leaves us to look another angle here, potentially testing our next angled line of support, which puts us around $3,200, or potentially breaking that. Now, can we get there in one shot from here? We're going to drop to 3K in the next. We have like 2.5 hours left in this daily candle. Yeah, 2.5 hours left. Let's go back in here to some tight action and see what's going on here. Because look at our follow-up 5-minute. Yeah, it just goes all back there. We still have bear volume there. No one's ready to buy this yet. Our indicators, we're going to start watching a little bit low time frames here. We're trying to find some sort of a rise up, but the volume isn't supporting that yet. Take a look here at BitMEX, same thing here. We had this descending triangle and we were watching it and it broke, and there it is. So are we going to do a 1-for-1 now of some sort of what we got here on our beginning of our opening there? And that could potentially take us, look at that, right to around $3,300. Horizontal, oops. Yep, right down there. If we are going to continue to break down from this pattern here, and wow, look at that. Look at that. We are breaking through again. We're getting lower, 38.50 and falling. Has Bitfinex broken? Nope, they're right at 4K. So if you're on USDT, Finex, or Binance, you haven't broken 4K yet. But listen, the real value is based on USD, and that's Coinbase, that's Bitstamp, that's BitMEX, and they're all at 38.50 and looking for a bottom here. And to be quite honest, the volume's very bearish, and it's a lot, but this isn't big stuff yet. There's a lot of coin out there that could be dumped in this move here, especially if the market feels like, oh my God, we can actually go lower. We're actually going to touch these lower areas very quickly here, and until any kind of oversold bounce becomes more meaningful. Can it become more meaningful in these price actions, in these moments? These are the circumstances that we're going to continue to watch here as we're just breaking through and breaking bearish on our price action here. Kind of unprecedented here in our descent, and especially in our area now that we're watching, that we're continuing to see this just unwinding and real capitulation now. You have to argue this is beginning to look like real capitulation in the market, in this situation here that we've been watching for months together, right? And now we are basically seeing it kind of really begin to happen, and continuation here in real time. And that's notable. That's notable because this is what's going on here. And there's no sign of this yet stopping, because we just are not seeing the market feel like that they've found a real true bottom, or at least a good value yet. And value is what we're watching for in the price of Bitcoin. When the market can tell us, yes, this feels like a good area to basically find a bottom. And look at our daily here. Look at our daily candle. Just unbelievable. Breaking through here and kind of holding this channel, if you will, as our triangle breaks here. So I'm just kind of get rid of that because that's done with. That pattern's over. And we're watching more of this. I almost see a parallel here, right? And we're just holding this line here. We're holding our support. And if we keep falling this way, then look where our lower line of support corresponds with our purple line of support. Now this is, again, we've broken through all these, so I have to look to the next one that could potentially find a bottom here. What we're looking at is $1,200 rejection, $13.69 rejection, and then we did a back test here at $17.70 on this purple line on this plane here. I'm kind of make it bigger because that's our next potential target here. And if I get rid of my Bollingers, oops, there I got it. Oh yeah, that's my channel. So we see that our channel lower support, right, could potentially be taking us down here. If we get this candle down here, that corresponds to somewhere around the $3,200 area, which would be another, $600 drop in the price of Bitcoin here. So that's a long way to fall if that's the case. But right now, we could potentially continue to hug the center line here of our bear channel, a rather steep bear channel, mind you. Let's get right there. Look at, we touch right there. We touch right there. This is our parallel. And then any kind of a bullish turnaround, we see where our line of resistance keeps falling here now at around $4,400. So we can clearly see that we are in this range of center channel support. And just look at the length of our daily candle here. I mean, we still have 2.5 hours left to go in this candle, and yet we're seeing it break through. This is the support that we're watching for, and we're seeing it just break through here. And what's interesting to me is our volume today, it's not that crazy. I mean, we saw this was a massive volume bar on November 20th here, and now we're so much lower than that, and yet we're breaking so much bearish. That's really bearish, because what that says to me is that there's no buyers here. There's just sellers. This is all selling, and we're at the low of the day right now, and we're not finding any buyers. As we're breaking through 3,800, and looks like we'd be going to the 3,700s momentarily. Here, we were just blown through all of our supports, and we are continuing. This is just a continuation pattern, folks, of what we've been dealing with this past week. I want to go my 3-day candle here, because this is the one that actually closed yesterday. Yeah, and then 24. So this is nope, this is the one that's last day of it here. And again, the spinning top here is showing the continuation. Oh, this is new. So this is the new one. This is the new start of the day here. Just brutal. 3-day RSI, 3-day RSI is at 17. You know, that's unprecedented. Now our daily, remember, our low RSI does not necessarily mark the bottom, right? Here was our 4,000 hold. We now have a higher RSI and a lower price point. So this is where we basically see that our RSI becomes less meaningful, at least on those lower time frames. That's why I do like to go to higher time frames in times like these. And listen, there's our MACD, sorry, there's our stochastic here. And this is showing us where we can actually hit that bottom. We hit it here, we hit it here. We don't reverse our trend on our stochastic and therefore our overall Bitcoin market until we touch the bottom here on our weekly. And you see, we still got running room. We still have running room to go lower here, especially with our leading indicator. Where we have 38.11 here. Weekly RSI, same gig, right? Same deal. 33. Oh, look at that. We're getting close to 30. That's interesting. We're getting very close to the 30 right there on the weekly. I've been eyeing this here. Oh, let me go to, I want to keep my RSI up, but I want to go to Bitstamp. Yeah, this is Bitstamp. It's giving us more history. And look at, this was that bottoming we had. And notice right here, we had this low in the RSI touch 30 on the weekly, and then there was a bounce. Okay, there was a bounce until we actually put in a lower low and confirmed our bottom. Getting closer to 30 here on our weekly RSI is notable, okay, because that's the area where previously we had found support and a good bounce on our daily, on the weekly RSI. We're getting very close here. I'm going to mark that. Okay, right there, 30, but we're not there yet. We're not there yet. We can still go lower. We're right at 30.8. And, you know, I'm sure intra-week this was probably lower and probably pulled back as it closed. So we're getting closer in the historical RSI support. It looks like we're getting into the 37s here. Okay, guys, I'm on the 5-minute here. I'm on, I'm going to go back to Coinbase. Stamp's always a little choppy. Oh, look at that. There's a little discrepancy here between Stamp and Coinbase. Just a little bit. Did we break? No, we still have not broken the fork. Remember, this is a 4K support that we can see here in Binance and Bitfinex, because it hasn't, it's like that psychological. So this is the first time that they're hitting 4K. On these exchanges, you might see a little support bounce because of that, even though the breach has happened. We've already broken through here, Who's in the chat room tonight? 200 people watching. Give me a shout out and a thumbs up. I do appreciate it. Sarah Justin, what's up, Justin? Crypto77, King Zulu, Mr. Marchand 28, SS Swartz 88, Just Me, Cludes, RT Theron, Belleville Gan, Gloomboy, Swanson, Sussex Driver 75, what's up, Mike? Bali a Great, Mick 95, Kebco, Adam Holland, Turkabros, Janji, Major, Tony, Mohammed. Hello, my friends. We are watching Bitcoin break through $4,000 live here. After a week of just tremendous bearishness, continues on a Saturday in the United States. And remember, we don't even close our weekly till tomorrow. We still have one more day in the week. And for those of us that thought maybe the weekly low had already been put in, clearly it has not. Clearly we are still testing that. And look at this volume this week. I mean, you want to talk about breaking through to, or weeks of very subtle volume, and then just this instant stair climb higher. This massive bearish Maribozu candle that we're watching here in our weekly. We go to log scale here, you know, get a different perspective of, look at guys, this is Bitcoin. You know, this is the run up. 15. This was our basically confirmed low here, January of 15. And from January to August, we basically range in this bear market after coming down from the bull run of 2013 and 14. And then from September 15th all the way up to December of 2017, we just went straight up, you know, pulled back a little bit, rode our exponential moving averages all the way up here. Now look at our weekly as we break through our Bollinger. First time we've done that, like ever, in this modern history at least. So we're just looking at this unprecedented bearishness, and a lot of this potentially has to do with how long we were holding this 6K area. Some might say artificially, okay, but that's the reason why we're finding this so quickly be able to break through bearishly, because of the artificiality of our support. And I pull up my VPVR here, and we just see where the group, this is bedrock here, okay, this is bedrock. Let's make that bigger. Let's make you purple. Nope, can't see that. Make you that purple. That's a little better. And listen, this is your bedrock. This is your bedrock support. And frankly, if you look at it, you're pretty good till about I don't know, $1,000. Let's call it around that area. And then after that, we ran so quickly, so fast, so bullish, so high, and we left all these price gaps, areas that didn't consolidate enough, didn't consolidate long enough, and have put these areas here where we're now just blowing through at lack of support all the way down. And our VPVR shows this until we get down, you know, honestly, to our bedrock area. Right? But before that happens, before that could happen, we could be saved. We could be saved by the $3,000 area of Bitcoin. Because we see there was a lot of money flow that came into that area at that time, even though the time here was very limited, right? Like 100, I don't know, it was like 3 months, 3-4 months of price action roughly in this area here, roughly in this area of price support, price stability. Remember, we went super bullish. This is the weekly, just how many weeks in a row we went bullish here. Big pullback, sideways, bear break, bull break, continuation, retest. And that retest right here, zoom in right here, okay, at 3K, right? That held, and that produced a very nice bounce in this candle. And this weekly candle closed with a very nice bottom wick on very high volume, which shows this was a lot of buying pressure here that actually happened in that area there. Oh, we're breaking through 57, aren't we? Let's get into the action. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Robert. All right, look at that. Get off the log for a second there. Whoa, okay, yeah, so we're going here. Look at these volumes. Still steady volume. Nothing crazy yet, just very steady, very dumpy. Any little slingshots here are just getting sold into. As we go lower, let's look at our daily again. Remember, this is like Saturday afternoon here on the east coast of USA. And we still have 2 hours in this candle. And now we're breaking through our channel middle support zone. And our volume profile is beginning to increase. Okay, we're actually beginning to get more bear volume coming in. Quick look here at market cap 133. Now it's 128. We lost another 5 billion in crypto. 68 billion now on Bitcoin. And our volume's only 4 billion. It's interesting. I thought we'd get there. Well, you know, it's still high. This is not a lot of, this is relatively speaking, people, not a lot of crazy volume. And we're just falling through like a hot knife through butter right here. Because there's no buyers here. There's no buyers at $3,700 right now. There's just a lot of sellers, right? It's 5-minute chart. Consistent volume that's rising. See our profile here is rising. So we're adding to our bear volume. God, now what do we got on Ethereum and Litecoin? So Ethereum 109. Okay. 107. Okay. Wow. EOS 340 and falling. This can go a lot lower. EOS can go a lot lower. Bitcoin Cash, whatever's left of it. I guess this is the ABC. Under $200 now, that wing of it at least. The other one's at 50, I guess. Where's Litecoin? Litecoin 28. 27. Litecoin 27. 27.68. Again, volume really starting to get a little heavy here now. We're starting to find. You're looking for any sense of bottom feeding here. We're not. We're still at our low here, and we're dropping. We're watching our volume bars. We want a big one here. Keep watching for a bigger volume bar to really spike up and show us that maybe we have found that area. Because everything is just falling through like a just falling through here. Thank you for being part of this here. 220 of my closest friends as we watch this. Listen, this is historic. It's historic to me. It's historic to you guys. If you've been in crypto, just a few months or a year or several years, we are seeing this continuation here of unprecedented bearishness where 4K had held for several days, a couple days, right? There were some bullish calls that we had found a bottoming, and that broke very quickly here. And we just dropped almost $300 from where we were holding just a couple hours ago. I mean, this is a 5-minute here, but look at our hourly. We're still in our hourly. We still have 9 minutes to go in this candle here, and we are at the bottom of it. We are at the bottom of it currently. Check out our channel. Let me hide my VPVR. I want to pull up my 200 now. Oh, you know what? What's up, Vamp? There we go. There we go, Chonis. Because listen, I want to talk about a couple of these things here. MA200, I did a fun tweet on this yesterday, but I'm serious about it. There's a magnet pulling the MA200 and the price to it. Now, this was when we were at $4,200, right? This was $500 a Bitcoin ago. Now we pull this up here. Okay, I go back to my weekly. And I zoom out, and I'm going to hide all my little drawings, and we see where it is now. Not too far away from it, is it? This is my MA200 on my weekly. That's 31.36 right now on Coinbase. I mean, that's still hundreds of dollars lower, but listen, that's what I've been watching for a while here. And look at this weekly. This is the weekly candle. Look at this thing. And look at our volume. We're getting a little closer, right, to that capitulation volume that we were looking for, because we want that to match up with what we had seen previously. And where is... I've done a lot of content recently. There is it. There it is. So this one here is talking about, I'm looking for something. Remember, this was our candle here, and now it's a lot bigger and getting closer to our number one area, which kind of symbolized the volume profile of our topping off area. And now we're basically getting closer to that area. Similar here to 2015, where we had our one, and then our capitulation candle was pretty darn close to equaling the volume profile, right, of that area there. And that's what I'm watching for this time. And then 3 obviously represents when we're out of our bear market. That definitely hasn't happened yet. So that's what I'm watching. We are here. and we see what kind of a volume bars and volume profile we can find. Now we're going back into Bitcoin. Let's check it out here. Do we see any kind of support going on here? Okay, we seem to find right there 37.50. Again, you know, any bouncing here is going to hit exponential moving average. I'm on the 5-minute and we couldn't even get over the EMA 12. Look at that. The 5-minute couldn't even get over the EMA 12. And that's at $3,900. So that's the first area I'm going to be watching to see any notable bounce and see how the price interacts with it. You know, and see if that breaks through. Remember, we just fell $500 this hour. So we're going to close this hour. They want to try and close this hour not on the bottom, right? You don't want to close this thing on the very bottom. You want to get at least a little wick, right? And there it is. There's our little hourly wick with 5 minutes to go, 6 minutes and 40 seconds to go, and our candle here on very high volume, very high volume. Epic. So let's hang out for 5 more minutes. We can watch this close here, because now Bitcoin has fallen through $4,000. Any support zone, this was a continuation pattern, okay? But note, we are getting close here, right? It's subjective. There's clearly a little support zone here in this area. As low as here, as high as there. And we're going to watch to see if we can hold this area. You know, oversold conditions become kind of mute. Like, look how low we are from our hourly Bollinger. Look how low we are from our 4-hour. Okay, the distance outside is notable. We can mirror that to this candle here, which came back in. This candle closed back out. You know, but we were able to tighten up our. This is what's scary. We were able to tighten up our 4 hours, and now we can bleed out a lot more here because we've allowed our 4-hour Bollingers in themselves to tighten up. You know, so that's notable and that's significant, because we continue to see this play out, and what we're not seeing is any buyers in the market here convinced that, other than some sort of an oversold bounce, is what we're looking at. And if that's the case, then all we're going to be seeing is scalpers, quick scalps. Anytime we find any kind of a resistance zone, we're going to be seeing that resistance zone hold. 5-minute Bollinger support, but you know, it's the 5-minute. Okay, so under 5 minutes to go on our hourly candle here. Looking at our last 5-minute candle. And we still have 2 more hours left to go in the day. So after this is a 2-hour candle here. It's not really that much different from our 1-hour candle, is it? You know, our 1 hour actually looks worse. But again, we're looking for just a little wick here, just a little ray of hope, for now at least, that we can put some supports in. All of our indicators off a cliff here. Hourly RSI at 13. Remember, we can get as low as 5. Hourly stochastic, truncated again, going lower. Look at that hourly chalk and money flow, huh? Look at that.
Looking for an amazing deal this holiday?
What the heck? Commercials. There we go. Let's go back to BitMEX for a moment here. Just check out the candle. Again, we're looking for, you know, this is where we could potentially see a larger volume profile. Going to my 5-minute here. Very similar candles in Coinbase. You know, this is kind of across the board selling what we're seeing here, and a little bottom scalping here, $3,700. But all we're just seeing is this is oversold. We're not seeing a lot of that buying come in. And this wick is kind of determine a lot, especially if you close at the bottom. 2 minutes to go in our hourly candle. And we were right there. We were right there trying to hold, trying not to close at the bottom with 2 minutes to go. You know, we watch our last 5-minute candle here. And again, there's no sense that we are seeing here of a bottoming just yet. Under 2 minutes to go here. Then I'm kind of wrap it up. Again, thank you guys, 230 of my closest friends, for hanging out with me here. And just look at this 4-hour candle here. We still have 2 more hours to go in this candle. Our TD's on a 3. I don't even think our daily ever was able to switch over. Are we still on a super bleeding 9? Yeah, I mean, this is just unreal. And I think, was it Stamp? No, it should be Coinbase. Which, so yeah, there it is. There it is right there. Wow, we broke that too. We even broke our lows here of our 9. Wow. Yet we're just struggling to hold this area here. Hold on, Vamp. All right, I'm going to join Vamp Show after I sign off here. As we close out the last 40 seconds here, I just want to follow up with this last candle, the last few minutes here of our hourly candle, as we're trying to find some sort of a wick here. And we're just not seeing it. We're just not seeing the buyers yet. We're not seeing the conviction yet that this market has truly bottomed at this moment. Guys, I enjoy your support. Please give me a thumbs up. Thank you for following me. 240 of my closest friends here. I'm kind of calling to Vamp, and we'll do some more of this. We'll stay on this while we see what our daily close is in a couple hours here. Last 10 seconds here of our hourly candle. Okay, little wick here, just a little wick. Come on, as we close above, boom. So we close above $3,800. All right, guys, thank you for joining me. Big Chonis, remember to like, remember to follow. You follow me on Twitter as well. Chonis Trading will be in touch. It's Big Chonis signing out. Head over to Vamp Show. We'll see you over there. Peace.